Hello, you join me today as we try and move into second place in the Premier League. And we have our final match day in the Europa League Group stages. Hello and welcome to episode 11 of Irons in the Fire as we try and make West Ham good and great again. My name's Mark, and on today's episode we have for you two games. First up, we come back a little bit earlier. We've come back for Manchester United in the Premier League because they are one place in front of us and the points on the board allow us to overtake them if we were to beat them today. And that's a big if, but if we can beat them today, then we can overtake them and move into second place behind Manchester City, who are a little bit wobbly at the moment. So we'll see how that goes. And we have our final match day in the Europa League Group E against Villarreal. So that's coming up in today's episode. But before we do anything else, let's have the draw for the third round of the FA Cup. And I'll hand you to pass Mark for that said draw. Thank you to future Mark. And, I will now take you through the draw for the Emirates FA Cup third round here. So West Ham this season, who are we going to draw? There are 64 teams left in the draw. Let's get it underway then, and we're off and running. Burnley are first out. They will play Fulham. An all Premier League tie, that one. Chesterfield of the National League will play Tottenham of the Premier League. Got to be one that's on telly, that. That is what the FA Cup is all about. Nottingham Forest will play Wigan Athletic. Preston of the Championship will play Norwich, also of the Championship. An all-Championship affair there. Brentford, who are in our other save of the Premier League, will play Stoke of the Championship. Mansfield Town will play Queen's Park Rangers. Mansfield Town of League 2 playing Championship Queen's Park Rangers. Fleetwood, they will play Tranmere or Bolton. Manchester United, who we're going to play very, very shortly. Do we get them again? No. They will be playing Wolves. Manchester United and Wolves, an all Premier League affair, that one. Bournemouth, also of the Premier League, will play Watford. Aston Villa will play Leicester. Sheffield United will play Bristol City. Sheffield United and Bristol City. Plymouth, the Championship, will play Crawley Town of League 2. Exeter or Wrexham will play Manchester City. Oof, that's a tie and a half for one of those. Burton Albion will play Liverpool. Some big ties coming out here in as much as... And we've just been drawn. West Ham, we are at home at the London Stadium. Who's going to come visiting? It's going to be Newcastle. Right. Okay. Newcastle are our visitors. We're going to move on then. Advance to the end. And the final match out is Port Vale versus Barnsley. So then Morecambe Rotherham, Oxford United playing Maidenhead United. Aldershot Town versus Leyton Orient, Blackburn versus Cardiff, Middlesbrough versus Notts County, Ipswich Town versus Birmingham, Millwall versus Chelsea, Luton Town versus Southampton, Cambridge United versus Swansea, Huddersfield versus Sunderland, Hull City versus Crystal Palace, Charlton Northampton, Coventry will play Reading or Milton Keynes Dons, Leeds United will play West Brom, Brighton will play Sheffield Wednesday, Everton will play Arsenal, an all Premier League affair there in Port Vale, as we said, of League One, playing Barnsley, also of League One. That's the draw for the third round of the FA Cup, and I'll hand you back to Future Mark. He will show you how that fits into the schedule. And yes, it's Newcastle in the third round of the FA Cup. Thank you to Past Mark for that one. And we will be playing that on the 6th of January. It is at the London Stadium. We played them actually in between the two games today. Newcastle up at St James's Park. So we'll see how that one nods out. And then we've got them again at home at the end of February in the Premier League. So it's all coming thick and fast. Right. 6th of December on the save. As I said, we have come back a bit quicker. We were originally going to come back for Villarreal and Arsenal, play Manchester United and Newcastle offline. But I then figured, looking at the table after the end of the last episode, I thought, well, it seems a bit daft to miss out what potentially is a 6-pointer. We're 2 points behind Manchester United in second place. We are just 4 points now. 4 points behind Manchester City in first place. So, realistically, today, if we can beat Manchester United, we go a point in front of them on my reckoning. And depending on how Manchester City do, we could actually get very close to Manchester City and push up the table somewhat. So, I think we're definitely good to come back for this particular game. Liverpool are in 5th place outside of the Champions League places at the moment, and we're 5 points clear of them. So again, a win today is almost a necessity. Let's have a look at the fixtures for today. As you see, we're playing Manchester United, playing at 8 o'clock. All games at 8 o'clock here on this Wednesday night. Who else is playing that we need to keep an eye on? Liverpool. Liverpool are away to Sheffield United, who are near the bottom. So Liverpool will be expected to win that one. Manchester City, they are away to Tottenham. Not such an easy task in current form. And there's a possibility Tottenham could, bearing in mind they are at home, could actually come away with something there. And if they do, would do us a grand favour in doing so. So we'll see what comes of that. So apart from that, they are the top matches. So first place 4th, second place 3rd. It's a real humdinger of a day here in the Premier League. And Brentford, they not playing in this particular round. Have they already played? They've already played. They played yesterday, didn't they? They played Luton Town, drew 1-1 with Luton Town. Newcastle beating Wolves by 5-0. So that's a bit of an omen, and they moved up into 7th place because of it. So that second game of the game that you're not going to see is not going to be an easy game, I can tell you. It's going to be not as straightforward as it potentially could look. Right, let's get on with it. We've not played Manchester United so far this save. Let's see how we can get on against them and the team that will face Manchester United on match day 15 of the Premier League season. And this is the side that will face Manchester United in this Premier League match. Just a couple of things to mention before we move on. Frabinski is still injured. Tihalo Kiera is suspended for this match. He picked up, of course, that sending off. Can't remember who it was against now, but he got sent off, didn't he? And it was a one-match ban, got raised by a further 2. I'm pretty certain in saying this probably is his last match that he's banned from. So hopefully we will see him back fairly soon. Also suspended is James Ward-Prowse. He's picked up enough yellow cards for a one-match suspension. And we've also got an injury to Danny Ings, who is out with a twisted knee. He's going to be out for a few more days, to be fair. It's not a major issue. And the other good news is Kudos, who was out with a long-term hamstring injury, picked it up during our 2-0 defeat by Tottenham in October. He's on his way back. He's going to be back training very, very soon. The team then that will face Manchester United: Areola in goal, Creswell, Agard, Mavropanos, Kufau out on the right, who we're hoping he's agreed a new contract, just waiting on the work permit. Souček, Zuma and Alvarez in midfield, with Fennells sat behind Bowen and De Thomas. Trott, Johnson, Ogbonna, Watkins, Emerson, Benarama, Antonio, Paqueta and Cornet are all on the bench. And here's how the two sides line up. We're playing our, by now, familiar formation. And they are playing a 4-3-3 with a defensive midfielder. Confirmation of the table: Manchester United in second, we are in third, 2 points behind them. Confirmation of the two teams for you. Our first highlight comes 13 minutes in. It's Manchester United with the ball. Garnacho, Bernard Fernandez, he's hit the post and it's gone out for a throw on that far side. And with 35 minutes nearly on the clock, Kurt Zouma, disappointingly, has picked up an injury. He's got a foot injury. Hopefully it's not too bad, but he's going to have to come off. And Lucas Paqueta is going to replace him. Throwing on that far side from Creswell. Alvarez getting involved. Souček. Paqueta, who's come on. Souček. Souček comes forward. Cuts it inside to Fennell. Fennell's through to Bowen. Bowen's been brought down in the penalty area. Referee has signalled for a penalty. The Manchester United goalkeeper's coming out and complaining. And it's obviously going to be VAR look at it. Was he tripped? Or was he not? He was. That's the Wan-Bissaka tripping Bowen. Paqueta, who's come on. Ooh, goalkeeper got the right way, but he's tucked it away. 6th goal of the season. And we go 1 up. No more highlights in that second half. But we had a highlight that scored us a goal. And we've had a reasonably good first half, thankfully. We've had 9 shots, 6 on target, 1.61, 48% of the possession. They've had 4 shots, 2 on target, 0.21 on the XG, 52% of the possession. We've got noses in front. We need to keep it there. It's going to be difficult in the second half as time wears on. The other thing that is good news is I can bring you is that Tottenham are beating Manchester City as it currently stands. It's 2-0 in that game. Kolozewski and Dyer, the scorers in that one at half-time. They're 2 up, which means that if it all stays as it is, then we will be in second place, just 1 point behind Manchester City. First highlight of this second half comes 54 minutes in, and it's a highlight to Manchester United, which is a bit of a worry. Fernandez goes out wide to Anthony, and Creswell trying to get back. He's got to be careful. He's on a yellow card. Varane, Casemiro, and a shot has come back off the woodwork again. Quite sure who that was, but it's been put into touch by Creswell. Wan-Bissaka's going to have a throw in right in that corner. It's crossed in deep and headed over the top. Wan-Bissaka has a free kick. He's got it to Anthony. Anthony crossed it in for Martial, who has come on. Wan-Bissaka or Wan-Bissaka, whichever way you want to pronounce it. Martial and Garnacho, he's got it in. And we give him too much space, and you could just see him forging their way through there. It's 1-1 on 65 minutes. Martial causing us all sorts of problems. Bernard Fernandez and he just managed to get a toe to that Garnacho. And with 67 minutes on the clock, making a couple of changes. Kufal is tiring. He's coming off, not having a good day either. Ben Johnson replaces him. And Pablo Fornells, he's, again, not having a great day in that attacking playmaker role. Said Benrahma comes on for him. We're going to put him in there as a shadow striker, try and push the attack a little bit more. We have a free kick now. Creswell with a free kick. He had a go from the free kick, and the Manchester United goalkeeper had to save it. Unana is out due to a wrist injury. Souček, and the goalkeeper had to pummel that one away again, but this time it's gone out for a goal kick. That tells me absolutely nothing. Of a corner. Thomas swings it in. Oof. Bumping around there, but Johnson tidies up. See it from behind the goal. It was a point-blank save. And with 80 minutes on the clock, making our final two changes, we have taken off Creswell, who he picked up a yellow card, and he's tiring as well. So Emerson replaces him. And we've also brought on Ollie Watkins up front for De Thomas. And hopefully we can try and get that goal. Reguilón with the throw-in on that far side for Manchester United. We don't want to lose this. A draw would be okay. A loss would not. Amrabat and, it looks decidedly like it now. We've let them back into the game. And Martinez playing that ball back for Amrabat, who hit it first time. The goalkeeper probably was a little bit unsighted, actually. Reguilón with that throw in again on that far side. $85 minutes on the clock. It's a very similar move. Reguilón this time creating a bit of space himself. He's had a shot and it's gone wide. In fact, it was a save. It's gone out for a corner. And Manchester United still have it. And Amrabat. Good save again. Fernandez with an outswinger. Swung in. It's back out. Fernandez leaves it. I think he thought he was offside. Lindenhoff. And it's all Manchester United at the minute. What's going on here? Why is he taking his time? Throws it into Amrabat. Martial, but straight into the arms of Areola. Manchester United on the rampage again. We've been poor in this second half. Souček, Benrahma, Johnson. This is probably the last attack. Watkins, what's he going to do? Benrahma! He's equalised. His third goal of the season. It's 2-2, no more than we deserved. Right in the last minute, probably the last attack of the game. And Watkins didn't look as if he was going to miss out on this, but managed to get that ball inside. Benrahma, who's come on as a substitute, he was in space. And it's all over. It's a 2-2 draw. Last time I looked, Manchester City were 2-2 with Tottenham as well, which is a bit of a goal. But how does that leave us set? We have 15 shots, 11 on target, a 2.70, 40% of the possession. Really should have made more of that. Manchester United had 13 shots, 7 on target, 1.28, 60% of the possession. And, it's one of those. But, we really should have probably snuck a win here. But a draw is better than a loss. Well, this is how the evening's results have finished up, and it means no change in that top echelons. Tottenham beating Manchester City by 5-3 in the end. I think Manchester City, let's have a quick look. So Kulusevski and Dyer gave them a 2-0 lead. Calvin Phillips got one back on 49 minutes. I think that's 64. Nunes got one 3 minutes later, made it 2-2. Tottenham took the lead, made it 3-2 after 64. Manchester City equalised on 69 and made it 3-3. And then Son after 71 and Brennan Johnson after 94 minutes, making it a 5-3 win for Tottenham. And they move up into fourth place, just 1 point behind us now. Having dropped a couple of points there today in our game against Manchester United, it means that we're still 2 points behind Manchester United. But Manchester City losing their second game of the season means that the gap now is just 3 points down to Manchester City at the top. So we just need to keep going and work our way through this little period of tightness, as it were. Newcastle coming up next, which isn't going to be an easy game. We'll have a look at the goals in just a wee while. But that's how the evening has transpired. Liverpool beating Sheffield United as well, which means they are in fifth on 29 points. So it's all very tight at the top there. We want to try and consolidate these Champions League places if we can. Right. We have some news on Zuma. Kurt Zuma picking up that injury. He's out for 3 to 4 weeks. Bad news, which means our treatment room looks a bit full at the minute. Frabinski, he's going to be out for another 2 to 5 weeks with that slip disc. Danny Ings should be back in a few days. Kurt Zuma is now out for 4 weeks, which is not good news. Well, the old match momentum tells a bit of a story. As I said, Manchester United much better in that second half. We dominated the first half. They had just 5 minutes of time, and that penalty we probably should have scored in that in this sort of like period here. Really put them to bed. We had 15 minutes in the second half. They had a lot more. Scored 2 goals, of course, and we just managed to get that equaliser towards the end of the game. But it was definitely our match for losing as opposed to their match for winning. And before we play the Newcastle game, one other injury has come in. Agard has picked up a sprained ankle ligament, injured after jumping in training. He's going to be out for 3 weeks, so he adds to our list of players that are currently out through injury. The big worry is Agard and Zuma are our defensive line, which causes us a little bit of a problem. And that's how it's finished. 3-2. We got the win against Newcastle. It was a bit of do or die, everything happening in that first half. But we managed to hang on in there. Other results not going in our favour, though. Manchester City beating Brighton by 4-1, and Manchester United beating Wolves by 3-1, which means at the top of the table, it's pretty much as it was. The only change to the top of the table was because Tottenham lost to Arsenal. There is now a 4-point gap between us and Tottenham, and a 6-point gap down to Liverpool, who are in, and I think Liverpool have a game in hand, actually. So this probably isn't a true reading. But at the moment, there's a bit of a gap there. But we stay, those 3 points behind Manchester City in first place. And Manchester United still in second, a point behind Manchester City. We're 2 points behind Manchester United. Despite beating them, we can't seem to get past them. Of course, we didn't beat them, did we? We drew with them. Silly me. Right, Villarreal, the Europa League Group E match is coming up next. Well, our growing injury list grows. De Thomas is out now for 2 to 3 weeks with the damaged or pulled knee ligaments. At what point does it? Do you have an injury crisis? That's what I want to know. Danny Ings will be back very, very shortly, but we are suffering in our midfield and defensive positions for sure. Kurt Zuma out and Agard out. He's hurting us a little bit. We did manage to get through that Newcastle game, but against a really sort of difficult side, it could be a bit of a mountain to climb. And with the Sunday games played, Liverpool beating Fulham 5-3, Luton beating Bournemouth by 2-1, which means that Fulham still strapped to the bottom there on 4 points now, 12 points adrift of Nottingham Forest in the safety zone, along with Sheffield United and Luton Town. Sheffield United not too far adrift, Luton Town a bit further adrift. So they've all got to sort themselves out, but that win by Liverpool does mean that they are now just 3 points behind us in 4th place. Tottenham dropping down to 5th place on 31 points. Then come Arsenal and Brentford making up the rest of the European places. And at the moment, we are some 12 points clear of Newcastle, just outside the European places, which is fair enough. We just want to consolidate in that Champions League area, really. And here we are having a refresh of what's happened so far in the Europa League this season. As you'll see, we are top. We've got 15 points, just conceded 1 goal from... I'm not sure if we get a better screen here. All groups. We want Group E. That's better. Yeah. So, as you see, just conceded the 1 goal, 24 goals scored, 15 points from our 5 games to date. Maximum points. Villarreal in second, who we play today, on 9 points. Genk can still catch them, and with a bit of a superior goal difference, if we were to beat Villarreal today and Genk were to beat HJK, which seems awfully likely as HJK have lost all 5 of their games so far, they could dip out. So Villarreal will be quite ferocious in as much as they want at least a point from this game against us today. So it's going to be a bit of a ding-dong affair, should I say. Let's go and have a look at our injury-hit team that will face Villarreal. And this is the team that will face Villarreal in this Group E match day 6. It's the final one. We're already qualified, so nothing too urgent, I guess. But to win every game in the qualifying for the knockout stages would be rather good. And of course, as we qualify first, we do get a bye from the playoff round. So this is the team that will face Villarreal. Then Areola continues in goal. Emerson, Creswell, Mavropanos and Johnson in our injury hit side. Carrera, Ward-Prowse and Souček, who's been on holiday, play in midfield. Fornells continues behind Watkins, and Danny Ings coming in to play today. So Watkins and Ings getting the nod up front. Boeing having a rest today, though he may play some part a little bit later. Trott, Alvarez, Ogbonna, Kufau, Paqueta, Benarama, Scarles, Cornet, Bowen, Earthy, Kuda and Taramia on the bench for this one. And here we are in Villarreal ground, home ground. They're playing a 4-2-3-1. And we're sticking with our 4-3-1-2. Confirmation of the two teams for you as the teams enter the pitch. And Villarreal playing in yellow today. We're playing in our normal claret and blue. First highlight comes nearly 11 minutes in, and it's headed wide from a free kick. Mandy to Suarez. I don't know if he's any relation to Suarez of old. And Emerson beating Abramovich, but they're in here and they've scored. Moreno gets the goal that puts Villarreal in front on 18 minutes. And of course, as I said, they are looking for at least a point to be assured of qualification for the knockout stages. Beat them 8-0 in the first leg, effectively the first leg. All that got a deflection. Might have been going wide. Got a deflection off of Creswell. Ings kicks us back off. Emerson on this side. He swings it in. And Watkins is there. Watkins from a very tight angle. He's offside, though. It would have been his 5th goal of the season. It's being checked by VAR. And it is a goal. It is a goal. He hadn't gone too early. Emerson timed that very, very well. I think he just hung back Watkins at a very tight angle, putting that away. Lovely goal. 5th of the season. Yep, you can see he's just hung back long enough. We have a throw-in on this near side. It's going to be a long throw. Mavropanos throws it in, but it's given away. Back to Mavropanos, though. Fernels. Oh, that was unlucky. A corner. A throw-in. Mavropanos headed on. Oh, and Ollie Watkins gets his 2nd of the game. And a question again of whether he was offside or not. VAR will intervene once again. Jorgensen. It is awarded Mavropanos. It's headed on by Souček. Souček. And it's beaten by Watkins. I don't know why he thought he was offside, to be fair. We'll see the lines now. Souček heads it on. No way. No way. Watkins well onside. And we're 2-1 up. With 43 minutes on the clock. 44 minutes just turned. Suarez. But that's cut out by Emerson. Well read by Emerson. Watkins now on a hat-trick. He's having a blistering game with no bow in there. Carrera. Watkins on his own. Cuts it back. And Pablo Fornals gets his 3rd goal of the season. And we go 3-1 up after 45 minutes. And to be honest, we were a bit of a shaky start. And their goal woke us up. Watkins, lovely ball. Changed his feet. Got a deflection there, actually. Right into the path of Fornals. And no more highlights in that first half. We had quite a few. And very entertaining first half it was too. They've had 4 shots, 1 on target, 0.68. 50% of the possession. We've had 7 shots, 6 of which have been on target. That's fantastic going, isn't it? 1.66 and 50% of the possession. Ollie Watkins, 2 goals and an assist. He's having a cracking game. First highlight of the second half in the first minute. And it's Creswell to Emerson. In fact, it wasn't Creswell, was it, at all? It was Creswell. Creswell must be playing inside today in defence. I don't realise both of them were on, actually. Mavropanos. Souček. Back to Mavropanos. Souček. Souček has Johnson outside him. Haven't seen much of Johnson today, but he is there. Johnson, can he get this ball in? He can, but it's not a good ball. And Villarreal come away with the ball. And they're on a fine counter-attack here. Cuts it inside to Suarez. And Prejio putting that wide. Souček, Fernels, Ward-Prowse, Carrera to Ings. Ings for Johnson. Johnson into Souček. Souček, cross it in. Oh, it's bobbling around there. It's come away. Souček will tidy up. And it's gone out for a throw. We'll see it now from behind the goal. Ings, Johnson, into Souček. Souček crosses it in and it's blocked. Watkins looking for his hat-trick. Blocked by Gabbia. And with 65 minutes on the clock, making 2 changes. Thomas Souček has come off. He's tiring. We've taken him off and brought on Alvarez. And we've also taken off Emerson, who's also had a good game. We've taken him off. He's tiring. And we've moved Creswell out to the left there. And brought old Bonner on in central defence. Ward-Prowse to Mavropanos. Johnson outside him. Johnson comes forward. Alvarez, who's just come on, goes into the area, cuts it back for Nails. But he's come all the way back to Ogbonna. No options, I think, in there. Creswell, who's gone out in that wing-back position now. Creswell crosses it deep. Alvarez gets his 6th of the season. And we go 4-1 up, should I say, after 71 minutes. And Creswell, that's what Creswell can do really, really well. With those crosses, he's quite adept at getting those in. There it is, crossed into the area. Alvarez is unmarked. And bop. Jorgensen with a free kick. Mavropanos. Watkins heads it down to Ings. Of course, Watkins on a hat-trick. Carrera. Creswell out there again. Danger man. The alarm bells are ringing. That's swung in. And it's Danny Ings getting his 2nd goal of the season. We go 5-1 up now. And as I say, that those alarm bells were ringing early doors, but we've certainly made up for it. 5-1 the scoreline after 75 minutes. This ball bobbling about and Danny Ings putting it away. And with 75 minutes on the clock, we are going to make our final changes. We've made 3 of them. We have taken off Ben Johnson and brought on Vladimir Kufal. We've also taken off Mavropanos. And we've brought on Tarima, making his debut in that defensive line there. Can play as either of... Should we set him as a no-nonsense centre-back? We'll do that. Tarima comes on then. And our final change is Ollie Scarles has come on for Tilo Carrera. It's the corner then. Ward-Prowse with the corner. Swings it in. It's to the near post. Alvarez heads it back for Scarles. Scarles has already... Oh, and that caught a deflection. Kufal with his 1st goal of the season. Makes it 6-1 after 84. I was going to say Ollie Scarles has picked up an injury, but we've used all our subs, so he'll have to stay on. Hopefully that doesn't add to our Alvarez handing that down to Scarles. Scarles teeing up Kufal. Took a nasty deflection, but they all count. And it's all over. It's a 6-1 win. 17 shots, 13 on target, 3.87 on the XG, 52% of the possession. They had 7 shots, just 1 on target. Which was the goal that they scored, 1.03, 48% of the possession. We have qualified in resounding form. Ollie Watkins getting a 10 for that. 2 goals and an assist. Just unlucky he didn't get his hat-trick, but he did everything else but. So a quick roundup of how it's all finished. Genk are the other qualifiers from our group. That loss to ourselves 6-1 by Villarreal means that they don't qualify 9 points, but their goal difference was absolutely ridiculous. So I think we put 14 past them. What a good episode, and we continue our good run as it is at the minute. I know we got a draw against Manchester United, but we're going very, very well at the moment. We are going to play a couple of games offline. We're going to come back for the last 2 games of the year. Fulham and Tottenham. So a local derby. And a game against bottom of the league, Fulham. Tottenham, we lost at the Tottenham Stadium by 2-0, of course, last time out. So can we do something different to them this time? Arsenal and Luton offline then. Fulham and Tottenham we'll come back for. And then we'll get into the... Obviously, the next round will be the FA Cup, 3rd round, and then we'll see how the Europa round of 16's fitting in there already. So we'll probably work our way through this a little bit and just see where it leaves us. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you have, don't forget to leave me that big thumbs up, subscribe and hit the notification button. That keeps you up to date with all future episodes of Irons in the Fire and our other series, Project Turnaround. And of course, when we get round to it, releasing our brand new save here on FM24. If you're enjoying the game, you haven't bought it yet. then why not go and buy it for yourself? Fanatical still have an offer on at the moment. If you go down there, I think it ends at the end of the week to get a discount. You still can save money on the Steam price, and if you follow the link below, you do help this channel, so a big thank you for that. Best way of keeping up to date what's happening on this channel at all times is to follow me on Twitter at JustOffsideFM. New episodes of Irons in the Fire will be released every Monday and Thursday at 4:15 p.m, at least until we get our next save out. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you for the next episode. It'll be episode 12. It's out on Monday. Have yourselves a good weekend. If you're not watching my other series, it's Fulham and Tottenham London derbies next time out. Bye bye.